This video is brought to you by NordVPN. Yo, what's going on guys? Sam here. Welcome back to another video, and we've got iOS 14 in our hands, which means it's time to look through and see what's really new. Because obviously Apple has a bunch of forward-facing features. You've seen the widgets. They are really cool. But if you start just looking a little bit deeper, you might notice that the camera app is actually a little bit faster than before, that there are new things in here that you haven't seen. If you're excited for the video, it does seriously help me and the channel out if you drop a like down below. Hit subscribe for more, and let's go ahead and take a look at everything cool in iOS 14. And this is just part one. All right, got a bonus one up first that was just discovered recently over on Twitter. So check this out. If you go to accessibility and then go to touch, you've got a new option right here for back tap. And if you never tapped the back of your iPhone, well, it's time to start, because watch this. All right. Yeah, guys, and it does way more than just reachability. Look at all this. We can do control center. If you ever just want to access control center, you ever just... Okay, that's cool. All right, that's super cool. And you can even do a triple tap as well for multiple actions. I have noticed it fires really easily, but just had to show you this at first. All right, up first, obviously we know about widgets in iOS 14, but did you know that you can actually change the settings for some? So like for weather, if you tap on that and then edit widget, you can actually change the location to whatever you want. You can search, and I could say, I want it to be Chicago. And if I try to type in that, look at that, Chicago, Illinois, I now have customized Chicago weather on my home screen at all times. Same is true for this one if you tap on edit calendar. Just go through, have some fun. Also, you can stack widgets, which is kind of weird. So if I tap and drag news, I can drag it on top of that one and made my own stack. Apple didn't talk about this at all. They have the smart stack, which is recommendations for you, but now you can do your own stack. Next up, you know how you've been locked into Apple's ecosystem for years for Safari and the stock mail app, and you couldn't use anything else? In iOS 14, you can now set default apps. Now in beta 1, which I'm holding in my hands right now, it doesn't seem like that is currently enabled, but it is coming. Apple's confirmed it in so many places, and it's not just on iOS. You can do the same thing on iPadOS 14 too. Because Apple added a new app library in iOS 14, you might start using your home screen less. That's something that I've noticed in my own behavior, that I kind of don't want to just scroll. So in settings, if you head over to the home screen section, there's a new option to add new app downloads, either A, to the home screen, or B, what we want to do, to the app library only. So next time you're finding yourself on the App Store looking for something cool to download, it won't be added to the clutter that used to be your home screen. You can just scroll down, find something that you're interested in, and then when you download it, that's going to go straight into your app library. I'm sure you've seen this one already by now, but it's still a huge deal to me. The incoming call UI no longer takes up your entire display. So this is what it looks like when you get a phone call now. And you know, you could argue that it almost makes your phone usable when you have an incoming call. It's so good, and like, thank you, Apple. Thank you. We really, really needed this one. And Apple even took that a step further so that third parties can also use that API, so it doesn't take up your whole screen. So Discord, Skype, whatever your VoIP service is, it won't be gigantic either in iOS 14 as long as the developer updates it. The iPhone finally has picture-in-picture now, but it doesn't always have to stay that size. If you actually just take your fingers and pinch it either that way to enlarge it, it can get really big to the point where, I mean, that's honestly the same size as when you hold it this way in the YouTube app or the Apple TV app, or you can shrink it down really, really tiny. So Apple's given you that customization there. In Messages, you can now pin contacts that you talk with frequently, and it turns out the number for this is 9. You cannot pin anybody else. If you try to do it, look at that. Pin conversations, you only get 9. Perhaps one of the weirdest thing about Memoji in the past was that everyone looked super young, like, which is kind of weird. So now there's age options. They're pretty subtle, actually. I thought they'd be a bit more severe, but when you go from little baby, look at cute little baby, to, I don't know, big grown-up person. Inside of the Maps app, if you're trying to go somewhere, Apple has added cycling options. Now, again, in beta 1, I wasn't able to get this working on my device, but if you have iOS 14 in the future, it looks really cool. And also, if you're the driver of an electric vehicle, like myself, Apple is adding EV routing. So I have a Tesla, so they already have really great on-screen UI for navigation, but if your car doesn't, if it's not too good, Apple's added EV stuff, which is insanely cool. Like, it's so cool to see Apple acknowledging that the future is electric. As you can see right here, there's a new translation app in iOS 14, and one of the first hidden features I want to talk about is actually brought to you the first time you open it. You can download languages to translate on device. So if you're somewhere where you don't have connectivity, you can do that, and it's really, really cool. The second feature is when you go into landscape, Apple is calling this conversation view. So this literally allows you to quickly and easily say something. Now it's having some issues for some reason right now. I don't know why, but how this is supposed to work is you could be in a foreign country. You don't know the language very well or at all. Tap the microphone to start speaking, and this will automatically, after you speak, translate it into another language. Now, like I said, it isn't working very well, but here's an example. And leading us directly into our next feature is that there is a new status indicator to let you know that something is happening or being downloaded. Apple changed it a bit from iOS 13, but I kind of dig it. It's very subtle, but nice. And just like there's offline translation, there's also offline dictation. So if you want to go send a message to somebody, you can now do that. And you don't have to do it through Apple servers. You can just start talking like this. And again, I think it's bugged out. I guess there's something out with the microphone in this first build, but it will do it offline rather than using an Apple server. If you ever struggle to find that perfect emoji, it just got way easier because as you can see, there's a brand new right here emoji keyboard. So if you want to search for something like, I don't know, a computer. We're all in the computers out here on iUpdate. So, it's not perfect. It does show that that is a briefcase of some kind, but it does get you those results so much faster than before. Let me just give you guys a little flashback to what this was like for iOS 14. Remember how Siri used to be really annoying? Well, that's what happens when you invoke Siri now. I just held the side button and then I can talk to Siri if I'd like, or I could just swipe away and get rid of Siri. So it's not invasive, just like the call UI. Siri, man, they have really worked some wonders with iOS 14. Apple also says that over the past 3 years, Siri has gotten 20 times smarter, and here's an example of all the questions that Siri is supposedly going to be better at. Now, we've heard this before, so I wouldn't say this is 100% confirmed, but Siri is at least a little better, and we'll test it. Hopefully, it's a lot better. The camera app also recently got some nice updates. Apple says the first shot is going to come up 25% faster. Snapping multiple photos is going to be, I think, up to like 75% faster. And then portrait mode will be 15% faster. And I agree, it does actually seem a little bit snappier, but I am still amazed at it. Even with the A13 processor inside of here, like it still takes the camera app a minute to get its bearings. But I mean, hey, hearing those improvements, that is incredible. Just showing you again, it is nearly instant there, which is dope. And what was previously a hidden feature for the iPhone 11 series, these phones with multiple cameras on them, you can now get on all iPhones. So Apple has brought it over to us. If we go back to video, try to tap on that, looking good from 4K to 60 to 24 to 30. It's super easy to do. And let's play a game. Guess what other 11 series feature is now on the XS and the XR, phones from 2018. Yes, it is quick take video, just like that. You can lock it or hold it, and I'm recording a video. That is now available on the XS and the XR. And also, when you're shooting a night mode photo now, there's a new gyroscope to help you not mess up the shot. Obviously, when you're doing this long exposure, I'm just demonstrating by covering up my camera here, it will get messed up if you move your hand a lot. So once you do that, look, it helps you stay right on track and get that best possible photo. And if you guys ever taken a selfie just like this and then you tap on it, you're like, wait, that doesn't look like the photo. The photo is the other way. It's like flipped. Well, yeah, that happens because you're not mirroring it. Now in iOS 14, you can mirror the front camera, and just like that, I'm gonna take a picture. Look what comes out, the exact image that I just saw. That's pretty cool actually, because now you can use this for all kinds of cool stuff that you couldn't use it for before. Hey guys, what's up? I'm over here on the side. What's going on? Following that is NordVPN, who sponsored today's video. And the reason I'm talking about NordVPN today is because they allow you to do all kinds of cool hidden stuff you probably weren't aware of. Not only on Netflix can you get access to certain shows that are blocked in your country, but for example, in the airline industry, they love to jack prices up and down, right? You've experienced this, where one day it's one price, the next day it's another. A lot of the time that's because they're tracking you and they're going to make the price higher because they know how bad you want to go on that trip. NordVPN allows you to browse more anonymously online so that they don't know it's you checking every day, and you can get the best possible price. There's all kinds of great stuff from the 5,000 super fast servers available worldwide and no bandwidth limit. Link is down below in the description, nordvpn.com/iupdate. Check them out. They got 70% off the 3 years plan, less than $3.50 a month, and a bonus month for free. I mean, they're helping you save money already. nordvpn.com/iupdate. And tying directly into FaceTime, there's now support for 1080p video, which is amazing. I didn't actually know that you couldn't talk in 1080p before. I guess it was capped at 720. So now you're going to look crystal clear whenever you're talking to somebody and you have one of the newer iPhones, probably I think 2018 or newer. And now for the wildest thing you're going to see all day, automatic eye correction for FaceTime. Yeah, so if you're talking to somebody looking at the screen, on their end of things, it's going to look like you're looking directly into the camera. Here's a video of what that looks like in action from, I believe, a journalist who made this when it was initially in the iOS 13 beta series. and then Apple canceled it out. So this is what that works. I don't know how to, I don't get it. I don't get how they do it. It uses augmented reality or something. But yeah, you got that turned on and it's kind of weird. It makes you look like you are looking into the camera when really you are not. And another feature that blows my mind, it's an accessibility feature for FaceTime. If you're in a group FaceTime, you know how those tiles dynamically change in size? Someone who's using American Sign Language and like actively signing to speak, they will become more prominent. So like they'll get bigger than like one of these icons that go to that. Sleep mode is here, everybody. It's mainly for the watch, but you can also do it on the iPhone as well. I mean, look, sleep schedule, sleep mode, wind down. This is pretty cool. I think we can all go for 8 hours, agree to that. And you can set all this stuff up. I'm just gonna hit add for now, but I swear if this wakes me up tomorrow because I forget to disable it, I'm gonna scream. There is this entirely new UI though, and you can enable it or disable it in control centers, it says, which is the hidden feature I wanna talk about. You can go and enable a toggle. Here's what that looks like. You can tap on it and there you go. You're in sleep mode, and look at the lock screen when you do this. Ooh, that's cool. That's something you're not going to see in every YouTube video. Inside of the new Home app, there is support for adaptive lighting, which is really cool. Apple's calling it smart color. So basically, if it's really bright outside, probably midday, your light's going to be a little bit more blue. If it gets more near sunset, going to be a little bit more orange. And then spoiled below, Apple's taken my features right out of my mouth, is face detection. Now, I have some concerns about this. Apple says it's all secure. And they can alert you if there are unidentified people around your house. In Safari, there is a new feature built in for native translation, and it'll let you know right when that's available. So you just tap there, and then you see you got translate to English, and then it says enable translation. Of course, we're going to enable translation for the video. Look at that. Apparently this happens on device, which is absolutely incredible. I mean, I don't know what to say other than, wow, it was instant. You know how many times I've gone to Google Translate? It takes forever. Google's getting all my data of what I'm translating. And to go right along with that, look at this. There's a tracking report for websites, and you can see who's been tracking you the most. Oh, look at this. 41 trackers. Thank you, Wall Street Journal. Thank you, Google. And Mac Rumors. I'm not going to lie, I am very disappointed. 22. What are you guys doing out there? You must be making a killing off of our data. And going on some of your favorite websites, like Apple Track, my own site, for example, where you can download the cool iOS 14 wallpaper. Apple says the JavaScript has gotten even faster, and it's now twice as fast performance as if you use Chrome on Android. So that's really good. App clips are basically instant apps that allow you to interact with different companies by either tapping something using near field communication or NFC, or scanning a particular QR code, and then you can get used to some interface. So like instead of downloading an app from the App Store, you have the option to do it later, but you get Apple Pay in here, you get sign in with Apple, so it's gonna allow you to do any transaction super quickly and efficiently. It's really streamlined, and while we can't get that right now because it has to do with other third-party apps that haven't yet integrated it, it looks very promising, and I just hope developers take advantage of it, and coffee shops or local places use it too. Inside of the App Store, when you go to an app in plain language, you have this stuff now. So it shows you who the developer is, languages it's available, and the size. Right up front, before to find this, guess where you'd have to go? All the way down. The music app has a brand new homepage called Listen Now. So this is the center, and then you have browse instead of that being in the middle. Then you have radio, and a feature straight from Spotify that Apple Music has never had, believe it or not, is autoplay. So now you can turn this on or off. You can either have it stop, which I don't like at all, or you can have it autoplay random songs that you might like. And on top of this page right here, which is super colorful, there is better filtering. So if you're trying to look for something that you want, look at that. It's much more separated, and it's not just all those words. Like, you're getting results right in the search view, so you can go to what you're looking for instantly. Inside of the Notes app, there is better scanning than before. So if you tap on that and then the camera, if you tap on scan documents, it is going to pick up the edges better. Now, I already found it amazing. So if Apple has really improved on top of that, it is going to be out of this world accurate. And you were able to pin notes for a minute, but now if you pin something, you can collapse that. And I've noticed this elsewhere in the operating system. You have the ability to collapse a lot of stuff, which you weren't able to do before. And I don't know if you happen to be an artist, but myself, I am not. So sometimes if I try to draw something like a star, it might not actually end up looking like a star. It might look a little bit like that. So with this new feature, Apple says it's going to work for a lot of shapes in the future. Right now, it doesn't seem to be working on my iPhone, but I mean, look how satisfying that is. You just draw something and instantly it corrects it and makes it look like you are the next Da Vinci. There's a decent amount of stuff that has changed inside of the podcast app, but right here, there's a new Up Next tab where Apple's going to suggest basically what you should listen to first if you haven't had anything to listen to on your mind. And reminders, whenever you're setting up a new list here, there are new ways to categorize it. So you can actually put emojis here now. If I can tap the little icon right there, here's our favorite emoji keyboard that we talked about earlier. And because, you know, doing things is tough, I'm going to set that emoji. And now when you're setting a reminder, walk the reminder, I was trying to type in walk the dog. That didn't go well. You can tap right here and look at that UI, man. I mean, Apple has nailed it here. Look at this, guys. Look at this. So let's say we want to do it this week and I want to walk my dog. Voice Memos just got a absolutely huge update because you can now make folders. So I'm going to call this new song. Voice Memos can also work magic now and remove some reverb or noise in the background of your recordings. Now I haven't tried it yet because I'm not in a super noisy environment yet, but I'm excited to try this out, especially if you're trying to get like a demo or something where you just want to show somebody real quick that can clean it up without doing any editing on your end. In the weather app, borrowed from Apple's acquisition of Dark Sky, is next hour precipitation, where Apple's going to tell you almost down to the minute what exactly is going on. And it has been raining on and off here, so I'm gonna tell you that looks pretty accurate. And then you can also scroll down and get a nice UI right there for your air quality, which is super cool. Obviously, this works on anywhere. You know, we don't all live in Cupertino where it's just perfectly sunny all the time. Apple says they'll also be able to notify you if another day something will be like significantly colder or warmer. Maybe be like, hey, wear a jacket when you go out of the house, or hey, bring your umbrella potentially when you wake up in the morning, and also send you severe weather alerts through the weather app. And finally, Control Center has gotten some updates. Whoa, those guys grew a little bit, if I don't say so myself. Look at this. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, learn something new, drop a like down below, and of course, hit subscribe so you stay up to date on all the latest Apple news. I've been Sam, and I'll see all of you in my next video.